What's up, everybody? Jerry here with the Thrive team. We're here with another Coach Talk for you. We have Coach Sharon over here. You can't see her, but she is across from me. And then we have TJ, Coach Trevis over here to my right. Sharon, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
And Trevis, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Wonderful. So today we are going to talk, we're going to shift gears a little bit. I believe last time we did talk about exercise, and before that we talked a little bit about, well, I don't remember what we talked about for that one, but at any rate, we are going to talk about what you need to be doing and the best ways to get back into your routine as you are able to get back into the gym and back into lifting weights and back into your exercise routine. I know a lot of people, or hopefully a lot of people, are still able to maintain their workouts while they're away from the gym, since all the gyms are closed right now. But whenever you get back in, obviously you're going to have access to, again, the whole facility. You're going to have access to weights. You're going to have access to treadmills and ellipticals if you didn't have those things. So you might be thinking or hoping that you're going to be able to get back in and jump right back into where you were before. But what you'll find out as we start to talk here is that that might not be the best place for you to start. So to kick us off, let's start a little bit about just resistance training in general. Just some general thoughts, guys, about if someone were getting back into resistance training after being off for 3 months, what does that look like? Where do you begin? Where do you start? Where do you go again? What percentage? Is it a percentage of what you were doing before? Is it different exercises? Like, I don't know, what does it look like?
There's a lot that goes into that, I think. One is, how long were you resistance training prior to taking a 3-month time off of resistance training? And 3 months is a long time. If you think about it, your body already starts to lose muscle after 72 hours. So 3 months is a lot longer than that. If you are pretty seasoned in exercise, you've been doing it for a long time prior to your break, it'll be a little bit of a quicker jump back in than if you had just started prior to taking the break. So depending on how long you had been doing it, if you had been working out for a year or longer, then it's pretty safe to jump back in using light weights. However, if you had just started, maybe start without any weights at all, just using body weight.
So the reason that I start with resistance training is because that's what causes the most soreness for people. If you have ever started with, I don't know, a personal trainer, or even jumped into a group class or something like that that had resistance training in it, you can definitely be super sore if you jump in too hard, too fast, right? Trevis, I'm sure that, before you even started training with me, it would have been 7 or 8 years ago at this point, you were training with somebody else. Before that, you recall jumping into that workout and the feeling that you had the first time you went?
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Terrible.
It was terrible. Literally having to sit down to go downstairs, feeling that intense, I'll say pain, because that's exactly what it was. And I thought every workout should feel that way. I thought that's a good sign. I got a good workout in, and but it was incredibly difficult to make yourself go back the next time, knowing, because just by the time you get the feeling decent, it's time to work out again, knowing that soreness and pain is going to be there. So, one of the things, so let's think about somebody who hasn't been able to resistance train in any capacity during the past 6-7 weeks. All they're able to do is basically get out and walk. So they are doing some movement. And they're really eager to come back into the gym. What, as a coach, would you say to that person to guide them so that they can continue and not experience that kind of pain to the point that they don't come back. What would you say?
Well, like Sharon already said, it's basically starting at a certain intensity. So you're definitely not going to be able to jump back into the level that you were before. If you haven't done any resistance training at all, you're going to want to cut that. I mean, realistically, cutting your weights probably in half for the first 2 to 3 weeks, just to get your body reconditioned, to get it prepared and ready to start to make progress again. So that you're not overtaxing yourself right in the beginning, because again, the general idea or the general feeling is that you want to just get in and start going back at it because you're excited to be able to lift weights again, you're excited to be able to work out again or whatever it is. But that feeling of being super sore, which some people like a lot, and if you like that a lot, more power to you. But if you're wanting to get into it slowly, starting at 50% of those weights is definitely a good place to start for, like I said, about 2 weeks. And then adding, I don't know, we'll call it 10% a week every 2 weeks is a good kind of progression to go through.
So Sharon, this is a good question. So when people aren't in the gym, they feel, and rightly so, that they lose strength that they had. So talk a little bit about the amount of strength that you lose based on the fact that you're not able to do the weights that you were doing before, and how long can you expect it to take before you are back to where you were on a goal that you were trying to achieve, say on a bench press or a deadlift? How long can you expect it to take?
So, as I said before, you do start to lose your muscle at 72 hours after your last workout or whenever you strength train. And, you know, that's not a significant amount, but it slowly progresses as you go longer. When you come back to it, it's really hard to tell yourself that it's going to take a little while. I think that's people's biggest challenge is it's going to take 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, depending on how long you were away from it, to get back to where you were. And what people tend to do is jump back in too quick, and then they set themselves back even further. Then they take even longer to come back to where they were. So that's the key to it. So your question, how long can you expect? You can expect 2 to 3 weeks if you do everything perfectly. However, how do you know what is perfect? You might think that you're coming back at a steady rate or a slow pace, and really you're actually not. So as long as you, like Jerry said, cut your weights back maybe 50%, then slowly build from there, maybe pretending like it's your first time working out ever, just slowly going up in weights as it starts to feel easy, and just let it be easy. Just allow your workouts to maybe feel easy for the first 2 weeks, and then start to make them a little bit tougher and a little bit tougher. You're going to get back to it a lot faster than if you try to jump right in head first and try to go all out again.
Well, and definitely more sustainable. So that I think is the key here. Is you could jump in and you could probably be somewhat close to the intensity that you were before you had to quit working out.
Right.
For maybe a couple of workouts, 2 or 3 workouts, you would probably be pretty close to it. Yeah, not very long. But what you don't think about is, even though you might be able to push the weights, even though you might be able to do some of the same reps or something like that, what you're not paying attention to is your tendons and your ligaments that are not conditioned to push those weights for that amount of reps. So that's what we don't think about. When you jump back into exercise, it's not just your muscles. You have tendons, you have ligaments that you have to take care of as well. And those are the things that people start to complain about, and that you start to have issues with is, oh, my elbows are aching and my shoulders are aching.
When your joints start to hurt,
yes.
That's how you know.
That's how you know you've gone too far, too fast.
So that's a really good point to talk about. So say before Corona shut down everybody, you were dealing with a hip issue. when it came to squats. And you would think, logically in your head, if you have not been squatting for the past 6, 7, 8 weeks, that injury would be better. But, I was talking to somebody who was in that situation, and this rest period has not helped that. So what would be, and they're the type of person, as soon as the doors are open, they're going to be right back in here. What's your advice to somebody? Is there anything that they can be doing to prepare or help? I just was shocked that the injury isn't better on this time off. So what would you say to somebody?
Well, so in that sense, just the fact that you said you were surprised that their injury didn't get better during the time off, kind of taking another route with that. A lot of people, their issue, their knee pain, their shoulder pain, whatever it might be, might go away during this time. So even if they're not still feeling it like this person is, it might still be there. It's probably still there. They just don't know it's there because they're not doing the things that they felt it while doing. So that's a good point off of that is, if you've had an issue or an injury prior and it doesn't hurt anymore, don't come back thinking it's better. Still kind of baby it a little bit to just kind of ease into it and see if it's actually better, or if it's just better because you haven't done your squats or whatever it might be. So that didn't answer your question at all, but just
no, but that was a
caveat.
good, yes, that was definitely a good add-on to that, because that's partly where my mind went. If something still hurts, then you know that it still hurts, and you know that you need to be able to do something. If you're not doing something already, then that's kind of on you, but we can talk about that. But if something stops hurting because you stop working out, and that's something that a lot of people do anyway. So I'm going to take a break because my back hurts or because my knee hurts. So I'm just going to take a break for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. And it's in the hopes that that starts to feel better. And a lot of times it does. And then whenever you start back up, whether that's 2 weeks or 4 weeks later, however long that is, whenever you start back up, it's most likely that issue might creep back in again at some point. Maybe it's not immediately, maybe it takes a couple weeks, maybe it takes a month, maybe it takes a couple months, who really knows, depending on what's causing the issue. But you didn't fix the issue, all you did was stopped doing whatever it was that was bothering you.
Aggravating.
Right? So going back to the original question of what do you do if you are, it sounds like whoever you are referring to is still kind of doing something. So whenever they're getting back into kind of their normal intensity of workouts, I guess, what do you start to do? Well, I would say it wouldn't be any different than what you would want to do anyway. So if you have something going on, you need to be doing recovery work on a regular basis. That needs to be foam rolling, that needs to be stretching, that needs to be mobilizing. When you're getting back into those intense workouts again after taking the time off, that even becomes more important. Your recovery becomes more important. So incorporating those things not only while you're at the gym, before and after the gym, but also on your days off, doing some active recovery techniques is definitely going to be important. And you know that just as well.
Right.
Y'all know that just as well as everybody else.
So talking about recovery, this is probably, I can only imagine, put some added stress on everybody being quarantined in your house, away from the gym and all that. What's the impact of stress on workouts and your body and picking back up? Is there anything, the recovery work that you talk about, how does stress play into that as far as your feeling when you're working out? Say you're not sleeping well or you have more stress in your life. What can you expect your body to respond to in a workout to that?
Well, so I would say I feel like that could be a whole nother topic in and of itself, but kind of in a nutshell, there are physical stresses and there are psychological stresses. Most of us, when we talk about stress, we talk about psychological stress, right?
Right.
And that's what most people are going through right now, is psychological stress because of what's going on. lost a job, more people around, you got to deal with the kids more often.
Well, I think
Yeah,
exercise is a stress reliever for people, and they haven't been
Exercise
able to have that.
most definitely. But it's also a stress.
Mhm.
So people are going to want to get right back into their intense exercise while also being more psychologically stressed.
Mhm.
So the question is, and I'll kind of bounce this back to you. The question is, being psychologically stressed, more psychologically stressed, does it make sense to jump in as fast as possible into a workout routine again?
In my opinion, absolutely not. I think that, the psychological stress is in a sense, it's harder on your body because you don't feel it. Right, but you don't feel it like you feel.
Exercise, you feel.
Right.
I feel sore, I
Right.
feel achy.
Right. And most people have the mentality, at least, I did early on, is that if I didn't give it 110% in that gym and walk out completely,
Drenched in sweat,
right.
dead, crawling
Right.
out.
that, it wasn't going to benefit me. I didn't get anything out of it, or I, let my coach down or whatever. So I think it takes a while to decide that it's okay to just go light and accept the fact that that's better than nothing, and don't increase the stress that you're already psychologically feeling by putting more stress onto your body, because that's not going to help you. So it's okay. I like to think about having, like a traffic light. It's a red light day today for me because I didn't sleep well last night. I only got 3 hours of sleep. I had to work all day, but I'm going to the gym. So it's okay for me to go in and do a lighter workout. And then maybe I've had a great night's sleep and everything's going great, and I'm going to go in and it's a green light, and I'm going to go hard, and I'm going to work out heavy, and I'm going to walk out of the gym dead, per se. So I think people have to accept that, and they have to know how they're feeling and not go in hard when you don't have that energy in your head or your body.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think being self-aware is really important. And if you are psychologically stressed during this time, your body sees stress as stress. It doesn't matter whether it's physical or psychological, it's stress on the body. And then your body has to heal. So it has to take care of those stresses. Whatever it has to do, whatever damage they've done on your body, it has to come in and fix it. So whether it's physical soreness, it has to heal your muscles, or psychological and you're not sleeping well or whatever, it has to repair your body. That's when your body repairs, is during sleep. So if you're not getting that, your body, it's like being sick and drinking alcohol at the same time. So if you're sick, your body is trying to heal you from being sick, but you're drinking alcohol, so you're putting
So you're not helping
for
it.
your body to take care of that too. So I would say I agree with Trevis for sure. Absolutely don't hit it super hard when you come back, but also adding to that, add in something that will calm you, something that will be more stress relieving. So maybe if a hard workout's not in your, if you're too stressed out for that right now, maybe take a nice really long walk first and then kind of ease into it, or do some meditation or some stretching and mobility work to start out with, rather than just going straight into, heavy strength training.
So what is your all's recommendations? Because someone asked me, they work in a nursing home, and they were running up and down stairs, doing their job, and their legs the next day were so sore it hurt to move. So they kind of texted me and said, what should I do to get rid of this soreness? So what's the first thing that you guys think that helps people relieve themselves of that?
My first thought is foam rolling or myofascial release. So
Anything like drinking more water or anything like that? Does that help flush?
Water plays a huge role, obviously, in joint lubrication. Maybe not obviously, but in joint lubrication and just muscle function and body function in general.
Yeah.
But definitely water plays a huge role in that. But as far as recovery between those types of activities, then yes, you're talking about myofascial release, aka foam rolling or lacrosse ball, anything like that. And then mobility, I would say mobility work, I mean stretching is fine. Don't get me wrong, like static
Well, what's the
stretching.
difference? You're talking stretching
Sure.
and mobility work. So define the difference in that for us.
So mobility work is working a joint through a full range of motion, your full range of motion, whatever that is for you, without pain, basically, or little to no pain, I'll say. So it's an active movement. It's not staying still. When most people see stretch, they say bend over and touch my toes, hold the position. So a static stretch. So static stretching again is fine, but if you're trying to work soreness out or prepare your joints for whatever's coming up, generally speaking, active mobility work is going to be more beneficial for you over the long run. And then, of course, the recovery, same thing for the recovery. It's going to be more beneficial for you in those recovery states.
Diet plays a big role as well, and you could talk a lot about that, Travis, but getting enough protein, your muscles need protein to build, and then not eating high amounts of sugar, because that kind of, just like my analogy with drinking alcohol while you're sick, same thing. Putting sugar in your body while it's trying to heal.
It's already inflamed, and you're just adding to the inflammatory properties that are, and inflammation is good and bad in the fact that you need some inflammation and all of that in order to make progress. But whenever it's constantly there is whenever it's an issue. So yes, you're right, definitely protein intake is significant when it comes to soreness and building, replacing that muscle that's been damaged with better muscle, but that's really good. And then drinking a lot of water, which is hard for people to do sometimes.
Most definitely. Okay, well, good talk overall. So just to kind of sum it up, like I said, take your time getting back into it. Whenever you do decide to, or whenever things do open back up and you get back to your workouts, start at about 50%. Don't be afraid to go light. Don't be afraid to take your time, especially if you feel psychologically stressed. Please do not go in and burn yourself out. Make sure you're getting proper recovery techniques, doing some foam rolling, some mobilization, some stretching, and then proper nutrition for recovery as well, getting some protein intake, making sure to stay hydrated. Fruits and veggies, always a good thing as well.
And 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Yes. Slowly.
So for the first month,
Yes, be patient, Any other closing thoughts?
So just with that, being patient, what people do a lot is think that they're wasting time or that they're not getting anywhere. So just know that slow and steady always wins the race. So the slower you go getting back into it, the better off you'll be.
And less injured.
Right.
The silly analogy that I'm sure people have said millions of times, this is a marathon, this is not a sprint, but you have to believe you are lifting for a lifetime. You are not lifting for today.
Exactly.
You're lifting for a lifetime. So allow yourself to be patient and get in there and work for building yourself back so you can continue to lift and exercise that.
Very good.
Cool.
Good.
Thanks, friends. Thanks, TJ. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sharon. Appreciate it. We are signing out from Thriveology, and until next time, here's to your success in health and fitness mastery.